Hey, 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 Hounds fans, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully, all is well, and we are just a few short days away from kickoff. So let's get right into this, into the schedule. And actually, before I do, I just want to point out that a girl who follows the Assumption home or Facebook page, my page, Sarah, she actually made this schedule for herself. So I think she might be a bigger Hounds fan than I am, even because she actually took the time to make this. It wasn't something that Assumption did, and I thought it was awesome. So she was kind enough to let me use this in my video. So just want to give Sarah a shout out and say that's really cool. So anyway, let's jump into this. I'm excited for the first game, which is Kutztown. I always pronounce it Kutztown, but I guess it's pronounced Kutztown from Pennsylvania. They're part of the PSAC League, or what's called PSAAC League, and out of Pennsylvania. And they're one of the top rated leagues out there in the country. So, last year, if people don't recall, Assumption actually went to the quarterfinals against IUP, which again is part of that PSAC League. So I like this out of conference game, this first game against Kutztown for a lot of reasons, because it's a good litmus test for, I think, how Assumption is going to play out during the season, just because it's such a competitive league. Kutz is definitely a competitor in that league. And these guys, this will be their fourth time, I believe, matching up, and they always have great games against each other. And last year came down to the wire again. Assumption's beat them, I believe, 3 times in a row now. So again, hopefully this isn't Assumption's time to go down. Unfortunately, they've got a new head coach. I should say fortunately, but you never know how a new head coach is going to respond with their players. The cool thing is Assumption has almost their entire team coming back from last year. Yes, they did lose a couple of key players on offense and a couple of key players on defense, but overall they've got 80 to 90% of their starters coming back intact for the team. So, I think they're going to give Kutz another good matchup. So it'll be interesting. That's a home game for this year. The other, I'm not going to talk about every game, but the other key matchup, AIC on the 29th, that's always a good game. AIC had our number for a couple of years, Assumption, but we were able to easily beat them the last 2 years, but they've always been a competitor that's rebuilding. Same with Southern. Southern is rebuilding for this year. They've been kind of down and out the last couple of years, but they're one that you don't want to sleep on. Again, same with New Haven. New Haven has always been hugely competitive, and New Haven actually opens up against Division I Bryant this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they do with their opener, their out-of-conference opener. And this game, it's actually LIU Post. Looks like there was a slight typo there, but no big deal. And Post is always a huge nemesis of Assumption. Last year, we were able to take them out pretty easily, but that's going to be a tough game, and Post they'll be competitive this year. Last year, I believe they had a couple of players that were suspended, so I don't know if they were suspended during the Assumption game, but either way, Assumption was the better team last year, in my opinion, and this game is actually going to be featured on ESPN3, so don't forget to check that out. And then Bentley, this is actually this game I'm looking forward to the most. I was at the game last year and froze my butt off. It was freezing. And unfortunately, Bentley ended up winning in the last, I don't know, I think it was minute of the game. I thought Assumption had it handily, and we were actually walking out of the stadium, and then I hear the announcer saying that Bentley scored. I couldn't believe it. So their tight end had a day and a half against Assumption. Assumption, it was one of those odd games where, it was the last game of the season, and it was at home, last game of the regular season, and Assumption, they just didn't look like themselves. So this year, I'll be interested to see how Assumption responds. Bentley also beat LIU Post last year too, so they were off to a slow start, and then they just got ahead of steam in the last half of the season. So Bentley will be an interesting matchup. Stonehill again, last game of the season, and really, I wouldn't sleep on any of these teams. I mean, you never know what Merrimack can do. Pace actually last year had a couple of wins, and they've been putting up some points. So I would not sleep on any of these teams. I'm actually going to try to go to this Pace game, so that'll be interesting, and try to hit a few others. So anyway, depending on what poll you check out, Assumption is preseason ranked either 20th, 17th, or 14th. They are predicted to win the Northeast 10 again and go deep in the playoffs. So again, like I said, last year they went to the quarterfinals and were just a step away from winning. They actually threw a touchdown, but unfortunately the touchdown was called back with 7 seconds left. So really frustrating for the guys. I was pulling for the gentleman, and unfortunately just didn't work out. So this year could be the year. These guys they've all played together for like 4 and 5 years. So should be their year, I hope. Like I said, always a mystery with the new coach. And we wish former coach Chesney and the rest of the staff the best over at Holy Cross. So anyway, hopefully the new coach McKenzie will be able to pull off something that the team's never done before and win that championship. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit now about Cole Tracy, former kicker from Assumption and now at LSU. Thanks, folks. Hey, Hounds fans, real quick, just wanted to give you a quick article I found, compliments of theadvocate.com, and this was the LSU depth chart as of it was released about a day ago. And lo and behold, you will notice that place kicker Cole Tracy is in the number 1 spot. So that's pretty cool. He had a 5th year that he could play for. He could have gone back to Assumption. Or what's interesting, when a couple of pro scouts came down to watch some other players at Assumption last year, they noticed Cole. They noticed, what a great technique he had, and knew all about his stats and kicking and a lot of the Division II records he set. They said, geez, you really got to showcase your talents maybe on a bigger stage so that perhaps you could even, make it to a pro team. So anyway, not to put the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, or however that saying goes. But anyway, with that being said, would love to see Cole do well this year at Division I school, where he'll be playing in front of 80,000 plus people. And he's got a new opportunity for this, and he beat out one of the other kickers. So anyway, he's in the number 1 driver's seat right now, and his first day of practice, I think he went 5 for 5 with a long of 42. I believe at Assumption his longest was maybe 52 yards. He did kick, I think twice now, 6 field goals in a game, which is a Division II record. So anyway, Cole's a great guy. I've had the opportunity to speak with him on multiple occasions on Facebook, and the guy just puts his head down and goes to work. So he's a guy that you want to root for whenever you can. And we wish him the best. So hopefully, he does well at LSU, and then maybe we'll see him on Sundays kicking for one of our favorite pro teams. So anyway, that's it, folks. Hopefully you will tune in and watch Assumption this year, either online or go to some games and support the Hounds. So anyway, that's it, folks. Take care, and talk to you soon.